So today in chapter number 1, what are we going to learn? Demographic composition of Indian population. Okay, now what is this demography? Demography is study of population, and India is the 7th largest country by area in the world. And out of total world's population, 17.5% population resides in India, and 60% of India's population live in 6 states: UP, that is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Okay, and remaining 40% lives in other states. So let us understand the demographic composition. We are going to study the population by using different criteria, by considering various aspects. So the first aspect is religion. So we will understand the population distribution as per religion. Okay, how many people or how much people follow which religion, that we will learn. So first one is Hinduism. 79.8% of total population out of 100, 79.8% people follow Hinduism. So if we consider in crores, it is 96.63 crores, 96 crores, 63 lakhs, we can say. Then Islam, 14.2% of total India's population follow Islam. Christianity, 2.3 people follow Christianism. 1.7 people follow Sikhism. 0.7 Buddhism. 0.4 Jainism. And there are other some religions such as Judaism and so on. So those religions are followed by 0.9 people in India. Remember this percentage and remember this question, that which religion is followed most in India? It is Hinduism. So let us understand again in detail this religion-wise composition of population. The main religions are briefly stated as below. First is Hinduism. The majority of Indians follow Hinduism. Bhagavad Gita is the holy book of Hindus, and Hindus advocate 4 main values. Now, what are those 4 main values? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. For the sake of exam, you should remember this. The meanings of all these 4 values. जो meaning मैंने दिया है ना, you should remember that, as well as you should remember what is the holy book of Hindus. It is Bhagavad Gita. And what are the 4 main values followed by Hindus? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So let us understand all these values. Dharma refers to duties which individuals must fulfill. It also includes virtues. So what is Dharma? Dharma, every Hindu must perform certain duties, and all those duties come under Dharma. Okay, all his duties are called as Dharma. Even certain virtues are there in Dharma. So along with duties, there are virtues which are considered as the Dharma of the Hindus. Next is Artha. Artha, most of the time we connect to the wealth. It is correct. But there is some more aspect related to this earth. It refers to a desire for power over nature and man. Okay. So every Hindu, they have the desire for power over nature and man. Nature is there. So the desire is that I'll be more powerful than nature. I'll be more powerful than other men. So that desire, even the desire for wealth is called as Artha. Okay, both the things are included. The desire to power over nature and man, as well as the desire for wealth, are considered for Artha. Next is kama. It means the desire for pleasure through five senses. Senses such as sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. So the Hindus, they desire to get the pleasure out of these five senses. And moksha is a state of liberation. Now liberation means freedom. Liberation का मतलब क्या है? Freedom. So freedom from what? From what they want to get the freedom? Hindus, which kind of freedom they want? It is the freedom from the rounds of rebirth. Rounds of rebirth means, see, as per Hindu philosophy, once you take birth, one day you will die. Again after death you take birth. Again you will die. Again you will take birth. Okay, there are 86 lakh births you have to take, and then you can get the birth of humans. That is what Hindu philosophy is. So every Hindu must try to get this moksha. Why? Then and then you will come out of this rounds of rebirth. You will cut that cycle. ये cycle है ना, death and birth की cycle. You have to cut through it. ये cycle पूरा बंद करना है, उससे छुटकारा पाना है, उससे फ्रीडम मिल लेना है, उसे बोलते हैं मोक्ष. Okay, so the person who gets moksha, the soul which gets moksha may not take rebirth. एक ही मतलब, see, अब this is the, he is or she is a human. If he prays for God and if he gets moksha, he may not get the rebirth, and he will be free from that rounds of rebirth. So that is called as a state of liberation, moksha. Next is Islam. Islam does not believe in idol worship. Idol worship मतलब मूर्ति पूजा. हिंदूज में होता है ना मूर्ति पूजा. इस्लाम में मूर्ति पूजा मना है. They don't believe in that, and it considers Prophet Muhammad as the greatest prophet. Okay, उनका जो मेन गुरु कौन है, prophet कौन है? Prophet Muhammad. Okay, and Quran is the most sacred book, and Islam prescribes 5 primary duties of a devout Muslim. एक मुस्लिम की 5 primary basic duties है. What are those? Belief in Allah. Every Muslim, they should believe in Allah. Next is prayers 5 times a day. नमाज पढ़ते हैं ना 5 बार हर रोज. Prayers 5 times a day. Next, giving of alms. Giving of alms means donating money, food to the needy and poor people. Okay. Then fasting for a month every year during Ramzan. Ramzan में रोजा होता है, 1 month उनका fasting रहता है. So fasting for a month every year, and pilgrimage to Makkah at least once in a lifetime. तो मक्का मदीना एक बार तो उनको पूरे जिंदगी में एक बार तो उनको विजिट करना ही है. So these are the 5 duties of a Muslim. Next is Christianity. Christianity started in India when the Portuguese invasion happened in Goa, when the Portuguese came and settled in Goa in 16th century, and as well as when the Britishers, they came and settled in 17th century. Before that, Christianism was not followed by Indian people. So Christian people came, their Pope and other people, they tried to spread Christianity. They tried to convert the Hindus or Indians into their own religion. Now again it is going on. So Christianity was started or gained its root in 16th as well as in 17th century in India. Bible is the holy book of Christians, and Christian religion is based on 10 commandments of the Lord. Okay, commandments are nothing but the order, divine rule of the Lord Jesus. ये जो 10 कमांडमेंट्स है, 10 ऑर्डर्स आर गिवन बाय द, और 10 डिवाइन रूल्स, ये रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दिए हैं उनके रिलीजन में, दोज all Christians must follow. I will just tell you what are those. The first is, you shall have no other god before me. You should means you should follow me. Next, you shall not take the name of your god in vain. When you are unsuccessful, you should not take the name of your god. Remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. Then you shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. नेबर के खिलाफ कुछ भी गलत विटनेस वगैरह आपको नहीं देना है. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Covet means desire to possess. You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. जो कुछ भी नेबर का है वो खुद को चाहिए, वो desire to possess नहीं होना चाहिए आपके मन में. So these are the 10 divine rules given by the Lord. Now next is Sikhism. It is founded by Guru Nanak. Along with Guru Nanak, there are 9 gurus who followed the philosophy given by Guru Nanak, and they preached all these 10 gurus, total 10, Guru Nanak plus 9 gurus, total 10 gurus, they preached against the hypocrisy in Hindu religion. In Hindu religion, at that time there was many issues related to hypocrisy, and there was hypocrisy in religion, and against that Guru Nanak and other 9 gurus, they started preaching, and many people got converted into Sikhism. They started following Sikhism. The holy book of Sikh is Guru Granth Sahib, and the religious symbols of Sikhism are 5 Ks. Now what are those 5 Ks? ये क्या है 5 Ks? Now I am writing all those 5 Ks. Kesh, Kanga, Kara, Kirpan, and Kacha. Okay, Kesh means hair, bal. Kanga means kangi, comb. Kara, that is kada, kada जो ब्रेसलेट पहनते हैं, कड़ा. किरपान इज द स्वर्ड, छोटी सी उनके पास रहते हैं ना किरपान, तलवार, छोटा सा, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, छोटी छुरी रहती है, दैट इज किरपान. देन कच्छा, कच्छा is nothing but the shorts. So all these are the 5 Ks, important things, religious symbols for every Sikh. Next is Buddhism. Buddhists follow the teachings of Lord Gautam Buddha. About 85% of Buddhists in India are located in Maharashtra. जितने total Buddhist है इंडिया में, उसमें से 85% are located in Maharashtra. There are 2 major schools of thought in Buddhism. The first is Hinayana and second one is Mahayana. क्या है first one, कौन सा है? What is the first one? It is Hinayan, and second one is Mahayan. These are the 2 major schools of thought in Buddhism. The main aim of Buddhism is to attain nirvana. What is the main aim of Buddhism? To attain nirvana. Then what is the meaning of nirvana? It is to achieve enlightenment. Enlightenment, getting enlightened, knowing everything, reaching to a stage where you know everything and you enjoy the peace of mind. No other thought is there and you enjoy that bliss. That is called as enlightenment. ओके, एक ये स्टेज होती है एनलाइटनमेंट की कि जिसमें आपके मन में कुछ भी ऐसी इच्छा नहीं बाकी होती है, आपको पूरा ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है, आप पूरे प्रज्वलित हो जाते हो, एनलाइटन्ड हो जाते हो, और एक अलग ही आनंद आपको मिलता है in that particular stage. And how the way you are going to achieve this enlightenment, कैसे achieve करना है enlightenment? By overcoming the rounds of rebirth. rebirth के round से ना, मैंने अभी हिंदुइज्म पढ़ाते समय आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था. So by overcoming the rounds of rebirth, you can, by overcoming the rounds of rebirth, you can achieve the enlightenment. So Buddhists, their main aim is nirvana, which means to achieve the enlightenment. And how you are going to achieve it? When you overcome the rounds of rebirth. ये rounds of rebirth है ना, birth, death. तो ये जब आप overcome करोगे, then you can achieve the enlightenment. Then there are 4 noble truths that I have not given here, but I will just write on the board. Then I will talk about this noble path. Now 4 noble truths are given. In Buddhism. The first one is all existence is dukkha. What is dukkha? Dukkha, what is dukkha? Dukkha means grief, sorrow. So human life is full of struggle. We all know this, correct? हम लोगों को सभी को पता है कि हमारा जो जिंदगी है पूरा इसमें क्या है? We have to struggle a lot. Nobody says I am happy. Once you say I'm happy, the next day there can be something that may make you sad. So sorrow is the part of life. Sorrow is the main reason of we can say of your existence. Throughout your life, one thing you are definitely going to face is struggle and the sorrow. That is. Second one is the cause of dukkha is craving. Now, what is the cause of this dukkha, sorrow? Cause means reason. Cause means reason. What is the cause? It is craving, that is desire. Desire or craving. Craving for what or desire for what? Desire for everything. यही है ना हम लोगों को. सी अगर आप लोगों को एक चीज मिलते हैं, then you have to want another thing in your life. Once you get that, again your mind desire another thing. So continuously there are many desires that come in your mind and you try to fulfill those desires, and because of which there is sorrow. If you don't have any desire, there may not be any sorrow. Okay, now let me again talk about the third one. Then cessation of dukkha comes with the cessation of craving. Now, what is this cessation of dukkha and cessation of craving? Cessation of dukkha means removal of sorrow. Cessation is nothing but removal. Removal means removing. Cessation or removal of sorrow, how you can do? When you remove the desires. आप अपने मन से ये desire निकाल दोगे, automatically you will be happy, you won't be sad anymore. And the last one is, there is a path that leads from dukkha, and this path helps to remove sorrow and attain the nirvana. So that is called as noble eightfold path. There is a path. The fourth truth is, there is a path. That path can help the Buddhists to achieve nirvana state. कौन सा path है वो? Which is the path that every Buddhist must follow? It is noble eightfold path that every Buddhist must follow to achieve the nirvana state or stage. Understood all four noble truths of Buddhists? Got it? So let us understand all these. The last point, that is, what is the noble eightfold path that every Buddhist must follow? It is given here. Eightfold means there are 8 values that every Buddhist must follow. 8 rules are given. जैसे क्रिश्चियनिज्म में 10 rules दिए ना, वैसे ही यहाँ पे 8 values, virtues are given, and all those must be followed by every Buddhist to attain nirvana. Now what are those? Right view, right intention. Right view means आपका ओपिनियन सही होना चाहिए. राइट इंटेंशन, आपका हेतु सही होना चाहिए. राइट स्पीच, सही बोलना चाहिए, अच्छा बोलना चाहिए. राइट एक्शन, अच्छा काम करना चाहिए. राइट लाइवलीहुड, राइट लाइवलीहुड आपका जो रहन सहन है वो अच्छा होना चाहिए. चोरी चकारी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं करना है. राइट लाइवलीहुड. राइट एफर्ट, आप जो कोई भी एफर्ट ले रहे हो, दोज मस्ट बी करेक्ट वन, those must be proper one. Then right mindfulness and right concentration. You must have the peace of mind, you must have the concentration, right concentration. So the all these 8 values are given in the noble eightfold path, and all these 8 values every Buddhist must follow to attain nirvana. Understood? समझ में आ गई आपको? बताइए. Understood this? Still 7 minutes are there, and I'm not going to share the link until I finish this. So next religion is Jainism. Jainism are mostly located in Maharashtra, or followers of Jainism are mostly located in Maharashtra, Gujarat and Rajasthan. They follow the preachings of Lord Mahavira. And who is Lord Mahavira? He is the 24th Tirthankar of Jainism. जैन लोगों में तीर्थंकर के करके एक साधु रहते हैं. तो कौन से वाले ये साधु है? 24th तीर्थंकर है लॉर्ड महावीर. उन्होंने ये सभी जो बताया, जो लोगों को बोला कि कैसे बिहेव करना है, क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, that teaching of Lord Mahavira is followed by these Jain people. And the text, whatever Lord Mahavira has told to the people, so the text containing the teachings of Mahavira are called agamas. So जो book में ये Lord Mahavira ने जो लोगों को बताया है, तो उसे बोलते हैं agamas. Okay. And there are 2 sects of Jainism. Jainism में 2 प्रकार के Jainism होते हैं. 2 sect means, sect can be said type. तो 2 प्रकार के उसमें पंथ है. एक है दिगंबर, एक है श्वेतांबर. And what are the 3 guiding principles or 3 jewels of Jainism? क्या है 3 jewels of Jainism? Right perception, which is called as Samyak Darshan. Right knowledge, which is called as Samyak Gyan. Right conduct, that is called as Samyak Charitra. Okay. So what is right perception? Right perception is nothing but you must have good thought. Right perception. Right knowledge, you should have good knowledge. ज्ञान होना चाहिए आपके पास, अच्छा ज्ञान होना चाहिए. Right conduct, आपका behavior, आपका चरित्र अच्छा होना चाहिए. Okay. Along with this, there are 5 main vows given in Jainism. Now what are those? ये मैं खाली explain करूंगी, then we will stop. What are those 5 main vows? The first is अहिंसा. अहिंसा आपको पता है, किसी की भी हिंसा नहीं करना, नॉन वायलेंस, अहिंसा. Second one is satya. You should tell the truth all the time. Asteya. Asteya means not stealing anything. You should not steal anybody's anything or money or any sort of material. Next is brahmacharya. Living a virgin life, brahmacharya. That is called as celibacy, chastity. Then aparigraha. Aparigraha means detachment. Getting detached from all the materialistic things. Materialistic things, मुझे मेरे पास गाड़ी होनी चाहिए, बंगला होना चाहिए, पैसे होने चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए. All these are materialistic pleasure. Aparigraha means detaching yourself, separating yourself from this materialistic pleasure. ये जो materialistic pleasure है, उससे क्या करना है, खुद को separate करना है. These are 5 vows, 5 promises that all the Jain people should follow. Okay, 5 vows means 5 promises. शपथ बोलते हैं ना, 5 vows. Understood? समझ में आ गई आपको? We will stop with this today. There are 2 more, Jainism and Judaism. Okay. And revise